In this video, I'll show you how to extract multiple records from a model driven app using JavaScript. Now, the goal is basically to use JavaScript to retrieve multiple record. Now, I have this model driven app over here. Now, in this model driven app, I have a list of airlines. So as you see over here, there's so many airlines listed over here. Now, what if I want to extract this information using JavaScript? Now I can extract the name, I can extract the dates, last modified, modified date, created by, and other parameters like description, supervisor, email, total staff, aircraft. Now if I want to get this information, I can do that. Okay, now how do we do that? We will make use of JavaScript for that. Now I'm gonna render all the content over here, but I need a place to render the content. Now what I'm gonna do is, like, say maybe on opening of say any record, I'm gonna open say one record with an airlines, and then from there I should be able to load that all the records. Okay, now you can do it at any place. I need some place to run that code. Okay, so let me open one of the record. Now once I open this record, I should be able to see all the listed airline details over here. Okay, now that's a goal. Now you can use it at any place, but I needed a landing page, and that's why I have chosen this form. Okay, so let's start by writing a code. So for that, let's go to VS Code, and now here we are going to write a function. So let's write a function, and this time we are going to retrieve multiple records, not just one record but multiple records. Now we need to pass the execution context, and then from here we will you make use of say an object, Xrm object. So Xrm dot web API. Now instead of retrieve record, we are going to use retrieve multiple records. And here we need to pass the entity name. Here we need to pass the entity. Now, when you retrieve one record, you need to pass the ID. But here we are not passing the ID because we want multiple records, right? So for that, what we are going to do, we are going to write the query over here. Okay. So first one is the entity. Now the entity name. Now I can dynamically get it, but I'm going to hard code this value. Now you can do a dynamic uh, execution of that particular record as well, but I'm gonna just hard code the value. Now what is the airline, the table airlines logical name? If I go to properties, I should be able to see the logical name of that particular table. So this is called as G Corp underscore airlines. So I'm gonna copy this, paste it over here, and let's write a code. Let's write an O data syntax. So question mark dollar. So we are passing a parameter, and we'll say select equal to, and then let's put whatever things we want to extract. So let's extract the name, the aircrafts. Okay, the total aircraft. So if I go to this form, let me use the XRM, the level for dynamics extension. So I'll click on logical name. So let's extract some components. Okay, so let's extract the name of the airline. So I'll just copy this. Let's extract the total staff, and let's extract the total aircraft. So three important information I'm going to extract and then list it down. So let me paste this over here. So select equal to gcop underscore name, comma, gcop underscore total staff, comma, gcop underscore total aircrafts. Now once we get this information, dot then, and just put a semicolon over here. So let me remove the blank space. Yes, so here we are going to write the code. Now the code will be simple, just iterating through the for loop, right? So for that, I'll just make use of function success, and we'll pass the parameters result. And if you have any error, then you can just type in function pass error, and let me delete this. Let me pass this information and console.log error, error dot message. So this is how you get the error message. If it has any exceptions, it is gonna, you can show the error in the console log. No, but here the actual logic will flow in. Now we are going to make use of simple for loop, right? So how do you write a simple for loop? We just say where I equal to 0, I less than. Now we need to know how many record does this particular table has. So it's simple to get the length of that. So I'll just say result dot entities dot length. You can write for in a different syntax. I'm just writing it in very simplest form. Okay, so this is how you simply write a for loop. Now here, if you want to render the information, you just say console.log and you will list down the result dot entities. Now this time, remember, it's not just result dot gcop underscore name, but this is result dot entities and in the bracket I dot gcop underscore name, right? And then maybe just to separate, I'll just put a pipe character. I'll put sufficient space around it, and then maybe I'll just put in another pipe character, put a specific space, and then I will say result dot entities of I dot total stuff, and I'll just put plus result dot entities of I dot total aircrafts. So let me remove this. I don't know how it came there. Just say plus result dot entities gcop name plus you can put it in three different line as well. I've just made use of just one line. So we are rendering first the airline name, put a pipe, total staff, put a pipe, and then I think this has come twice. So let me get rid of this. Yep. I've got two plus, so let me get rid of this plus, and this is how it is. So there are three items: name, staff, and the aircraft. Let me save this. Let me copy this code, put it in the web resource. So I've already created web resource. Web resource has nothing in it, so I'm just gonna paste the code. Just say publish. Now in the form we need to attach an event handler and call the method. So the method name is retrieve multiple records. Pass execution context is the first parameter. Done. Click on save and publish. So what we are doing in this particular example, we are writing a JavaScript to extract multiple values from the table. Now, whatever content the table has, just give me all the values. So if you see over here in airlines, I have around 9 records. So there's a 9 record. So it will give me all the 9 record details over here in the log. So if I go into say one of the record, so let me do a hard refresh, control F5. And if the code is correct, then I should be able to see the list over here on the right hand side. So let me go into one of the record. This will trigger that complete list. And as you see over here, I've got this information now. So I've got the name of the aircraft, I've got the total number of staff and the total aircraft. So you can retrieve any amount of information. Just for the example, I've taken like 3 columns, but then you can take it anyways. Now I've just written this within the form context, but you can write it in any place within your form, like maybe at a list level, maybe at a record level, or maybe if you have a simple form, you can just render this information. So all these things can be easily done using JavaScript. So the code is, we need to make use of Xrm.WebApi.retrieve multiple records, and then just pass on the table name and the OData query. Now, if you do not provide any column over here, it will by default retrieve everything. So we just need to specify the number of columns which we want, and then making use of result.entities.length, which will limit the number of records. Now here we are extracting all the records from that specific table and then rendering this content. So that's it, folks. This is how you basically use Xrm Web API retrieve multiple records to write a JavaScript to extract table level information in your model driven app. Thanks for watching.